Hello, and welcome back to this mini series of learning how to read tarot with me. If you don't know who I am, my name is Celia Sasser, and I am a transformational coach. But I would much prefer that you refer to me as the modern day witch because I work with female entrepreneurs to help them manifest more success in their business and life through their inner magic. Last session, I went over the four major arcana, starting with zero, and then I explained the minor arcanas through their suits, like the wands, the cups, um, and the swords and the pentacles. And so today I'm going to go over the next four major arcanas. But first of all, what I didn't share with you is that major arcana means big secret and minor arcana means little secret. So that's just a little bit of trivia for you. So let's go ahead and get started. This card here is the Emperor. So I hope you can see that through the light. Okay. And so the Emperor's energy, you can see he's this stern man. He's sitting on his throne. Okay. So when you get the Emperor in a reading, this could mean that as far as like a love interest, it could mean that you are meeting somebody that is a stern personality, more like a father figure. When this relates to you, it means that you are whatever you're going after, you're standing in your energy, you're being strong, you're going after what you want. It's almost like that Saturn energy of just putting your mind to it, and you're going to follow through. It's like staying in with your will and focusing on what it is that you're wanting. Somebody that's coming into your life that might be kind of arrogant or stuck in their ways, or not wanting to listen to how you feel about something, your perspective. It can be that energy as well. And the Emperor, the zodiac that correlates with the Emperor is, are represented, is Aries. So if you can think of an Aries in your life, and their personality traits, you can kind of see how an Emperor would be if it showed up in your reading. This also is a good thing, an Emperor. It's the big secret, but it's like you going after, like if you're starting a new business and maybe you were wishy-washy and you didn't have a lot of clarity. When you receive the Emperor, it's letting you know that you've gotten this clear picture of what it is that you want, and that um, you're going for it. It doesn't matter what other people think. You're not messing around with your limiting beliefs. You're not letting those old paradigms come. It's like you're just pushing through them. Okay, so it's a beautiful card to have um, when you're growing a business, because you want to know that you've built that strong foundation and you're going for it. And so you can see what your next step is. It's like a strategy. It's a strategy that you're creating for your abundance. So that's what the Emperor is. So I'm going to go ahead and move to, let me just say this also, is the Emperor is the number 4 card in the major arcanas. And when you think of 4, just think of like a structure. If a structure has only 3 walls, it's not going to stand up, unless you're building a pyramid. But, it's like you want that balance. Okay. And so when you think of the Emperor creates a strong foundation because there are 4 walls that can hold up, hold up this idea, hold up this business, hold up whatever this foundation that you're creating. So think of that when you think of the Emperor and the number 4. Now, the next card in the major arcana is the Hierophant. And so the Hierophant represents tradition, a teacher, it could be a government official or a counselor, or it could be a public, someone that's in the public eye. It could be a priest. It could be, someone that's like, if you're doing a love reading and you get the Hierophant, it's showing that there's marriage in your future because there's a priest coming in, or a minister, or someone that's going to ordain this wedding. And if you're creating a business, this could show up in your reading because maybe you need to seek advice, whether it is from a coach or it's from a financial advisor, or someone that's going to teach you a new skill, or even a spiritual advisor. So if this is business related when you get the Hierophant. If it's representing you, this could be whatever the other cards that show up in your reading. This could represent that maybe you need to see a counselor, or that you've learned a new skill and so now it's time to move forward. It could be that you are creating a business that feels very traditional. So when you just think of the Hierophant and the energy is very, it's like things that are set in stone, kind of, like the Emperor energy, but it is more of like a teaching, learning. So if you've went through some shadow work and you've learned more about yourself, it's like the Hierophant could be the teacher, the spiritual teacher that's showing up. And also the zodiac sign that is correlated with the Hierophant is Taurus, the zodiac sign of Taurus. So Taurus, when I think of Taurus energy, it's very grounding, could be a little stubborn, but it's kind of like that energy of it's always been done this way. So, the saying, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, kind of energy. So when the Hierophant comes into a reading, that's some of the things that you should be, it depends on where it lines up in your reading also. If it's, if it's for business, or if it's for love, or if it's for you right now, here and now, or the future. And the next card we have is the Lover's card. Okay, so if you're seeking a relationship, everyone loves the Lover's card because it's like, oh, there's new love coming in, there's partnership. If you're a love reading and you're wanting to know if this person is for you, even this could be partnership in a business, if this partnership is going to work out. The Lover's card is about communion of two people. But it's also about a relationship with yourself. So sometimes when the Lover's card shows up in a reading and maybe you're asking questions about yourself and your guidance, this is to let you know that you must fall in love with yourself first. You must come from feeling whole first before you can call in the person that you're really desiring in your life. Okay, so when it comes to relationships, we always think that someone's going to come in and they're going to fix our lives for us, or they're going to make it better. I'm going to feel complete. I'm going to feel whole. And then we don't work on ourselves. We think that is the winning ticket, so to speak. And when the Lover's card comes in a reading, it's to remind you that it all begins with you. Nobody can love you more than you can love yourself. Okay. And because everything is energy, if you are not loving yourself, you can never attract someone to love you more than how you love yourself. So you'll find that if you are, always highly critical of yourself. Maybe you'll find that you are attracting um, relationships into your life that they're highly critical. Okay. And because it goes back to everything being mirrored back to us. So we can learn what needs to be healed inside of ourselves. So that's where relationships are really good because they show us contrast, they show us polarity, they show us what we want and what we don't want. Okay, so with the Lover's card, there's the number 6. So when you think of the number 6, it is the foundation of, of the 4, and then maybe the 5. It was like a little bit, you needed to learn a little bit more with the Hierophant. And then now you're falling in love with your idea. And so now you've gotten from 4 to 6. And so you're building. Okay. When you think of it as telling a story with the numbers, I went over that with the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Empress energy. Okay, so it's telling a story. And the numbers tell a story also. It's like, like odd numbers and even numbers. And so 6 is an even number. And so you're building even a stronger foundation. So you're moving forward. Okay. And the Lover's card, the zodiac, which you probably know, is Gemini. Okay, Gemini, you can see the twins, there's the two. So with the Gemini energy, I like to think of it's like a split personality. So sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. Okay, and that's kind of the energy of the Lover's card. It's falling in love with something new, but then still not knowing what you're going to get. And so that goes back to that contrast. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to the Chariot. And so the Chariot card, the zodiac that represents is Cancer. So this is a water sign. This is fluid. You can see that there is a black and white. Um, you know, this is in ancient Egypt, like sculpture for a lion, but this is like the contrast, the polarities. And so when you receive this, this is letting you know it's time to take action. So whatever you were building, like when you had this new idea, when you were in the Fool energy, and then you moved into the Magician energy, and you started building this seed and planting and fertilizing. And then you go into the High Priestess, where now you're trusting your intuition, and you're getting guidance internally as you're fertilizing the seed. And then you have the Empress of Growth, and then you've got the Emperor that is you're building this strong foundation. And the Hierophant, maybe you need to learn something more, gain another skill. Maybe there were some lessons along the way that they could have been failures, but you learned from them. So it's kind of like the school of life. This is the teacher of life. And then you have the Lovers, where you're falling more in love with your idea. You're creating partnerships. It could be a business partnership. Um, and then you're moving into the Chariot energy. And the Chariot energy is now you've got clarity. You know where you're headed. You know what you want. You're ready to take action. And you understand that there's the contrast there, but it doesn't scare you anymore, because you know that either way, you're going to learn. There's no such thing as failure. So if something doesn't work out, it just is teaching you that this isn't the direction that you should be going. And so maybe I should pivot. Maybe I should try a different action. Or if it doesn't work out, at least I know I tried, and I'm stronger now for trying. So that Chariot energy is a beautiful energy to get, because now it's like you've planted those seeds and you're fertilizing it and you're taking action. And so while I'm filming this, we are entering into the waxing gibbous. And so on the other side of a waxing gibbous is the full moon. So we are going to have a full moon on the 28th of January, and this is filmed in 2021. Okay. And so this full moon is in Leo, and it's about creativity and love and really being standing in your worth type of energy. Okay. And then we have the divine feminine energy coming in. And so the chariot is about you're taking action, and it aligns with the waxing gibbous. So the energy, I teach about the moon phases and how to apply them in your business. So that way you're going with the flow of the energy and you're not going against it. Because if you've ever felt like you were pushing so hard to build your business or to get more clients or whatever it is that you're trying to call it, more money, and you feel like the harder you work, the further away you get to what it is that you're really trying to manifest, what you've really said that you wanted to call in, and you're just like, man, why is this happening? Why is this so hard? Why am I trying so much, so hard, so doing everything? And I can't find my people. I can't find my clients. The money's not coming in. What is going on? And so a lot of time it could be that when you have the energy of the waxing gibbous and the waxing crescent, this is when you're supposed to be taking action. This is when you're supposed to make yourself visible. This is when you're supposed to stand in in your worth, in your skill set, your authority. That goes to the emperor energy. It's like I'm standing in what I'm creating. I stand 100% behind it, and I'm going to go for it. And if I get a no, it's a no, but it's not a reflection of me. It's just a no because they're not my people. Okay, they're not in my perception. Because what you're doing is, when you set the intention and you're manifesting what you truly desire, you're creating your perception, you're creating your vision. And so when you're creating this, and like in the last video of the mini series, I was talking about the RAS, which is the reticular activating system. And this is how we create our perception, because the more we focus on something, the more it comes in our view. And you heard me talk about in the last episode that, when you think of a car that you want to purchase, and then all of a sudden you see the car everywhere, or, maybe there's a certain style you wanted, and you were thought, oh, I haven't seen this. And then all of a sudden you see it everywhere. Or, for women, maybe when you're pregnant, because that's your world that you're creating, you see pregnant women everywhere. But when you're not pregnant, it's not in your perception. So you don't see it. If you are focusing on suffering, you're going to see a lot of suffering. If you're focusing on abundance, you're going to see abundance everywhere. If you're focusing on growing your business, you've opened up that vortex. And so now you're going to see ways that you didn't see before on how you could grow your business. Okay. Things that were right in front of your face, but you didn't see them because you were thinking of something else. That's why with the RAS, you have to be mindful of what you are focusing on. Because if you're focusing on lack, that's what you're going to see, more things that are going to tell you that there is lack. Okay. If you're focusing on abundance and knowing that you are the magician and you're creating your legacy, then you're going to see how you're going to fertilize, and you're going to be patient, and you're going to take the steps while you're growing the seed. Okay. So in the waxing gibbous, we are still taking action, and you might be feeling a little bit of exhaustion and wanting to give up. This is like that home stretch energy. It's that, um, giving that last 100%. And maybe during the waxing crescent, you overextended your energy and you didn't create balance. And so, like, even inside of the journal that you've heard me talk about that I created for the Moon Magic membership, I teach you about the 5 pillars, and that in order for us to create harmony and balance in our lives, we really need to be present enough to see if we're making deposits in those 5 pillars. And those 5 pillars are our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health, our emotional health, and our financial health. Okay. And so most of us are operating from 2 to 3 of those pillars. And what happens is we reach burnout. Okay. So while you are growing your business, while you are nurturing this spiritual seed that you've received, you have to be mindful. Are you making deposits in all of those areas? Are you being mindful? You know, it's like, if you're ignoring your finances and you're just spending, and then you're making a little bit and you can't make your ends meet, or you haven't set the intention of what it is that, you know, the growth you want to see in your business, and you haven't given it a place, you haven't welcomed it. Okay. Because if we have a bad mindset around money, we're not welcoming it in. So you might find that every time it comes in, it goes as quickly. Okay. So the 5 pillars are really important. And so while you're growing this and you are taking action, you have to be mindful. We just moved out of the first quarter, which was yesterday, on the 20th. Okay. Today is the 21st. On the 20th, we were in the first quarter. And so the first quarter is about um, doing a check-in in your business. Okay. It's like you've been going, doing, creating. Okay. So now you're like, okay, this is the first quarter. Where am I at in the first quarter in my 5 pillars? Am I taking care of my health like the intention that I set from the beginning of the year? How about my mental? You know, have I learned some new skills? Am I studying? Am I keeping in the study of what it is that I'm wanting to manifest? Because the more we focus on what it is that we want to create, the more our RAS brings those things to us. Okay. So you really want to be mindful. So you're going to check in with your mental and your emotional. You know, how are you feeling? Are you getting discouraged? Or is doubt seeping in? Is the saboteur coming in? Is the trickster taking you off track? Knowing that those are those energies that you're feeling. Okay. And you know, it's like you can shift out of those when I talk about the 3 archetypes that are under the divine feminine energy, which are the witch, the goddess, and the mystic. So you can take on her energy just to get you through in this waning, or I mean waxing gibbous, waxing crescent energy. So in the first quarter, you're looking at all of this. You're doing your check-in. You're seeing what is working in my business, what's not working, what do I need to let go? Let me regroup. Let me organize some things in my space, because the number one universal law is the law of order. So if we have a lot of chaos around us, it's very hard for us to focus on the thing that we're wanting to call in, this business that we're growing. We get overwhelmed. We get sidetracked. We let that doubt, that exhaustion, the distraction. I mean, clutter is very distracting. Okay. So you're going to be mindful. And then, you know, it's like you regroup and you're like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where my numbers are. I'm not quite where I want it to be. You know, what's my energy? What am I saying? Like being really intentional of focusing on where you are, where your energy is. Because remember, we are all energy. And so are, when your energy is at a higher vibration, you are calling in what you are wanting to manifest. When your vibration is at a lower vibration, you're tuning into a frequency of where you don't want to be. So it's really about being intentional. And it's not always logic. It's not always numbers. It's like, you know, proof. Give me the proof. Give me the proof. Well, you have to believe in the unseen, and you have to get your energies aligned. So in this waxing gibbous energy, that is the chariot energy. That is when you're taking action, you're not getting distracted. You've, did a check, like, for instance, with me, we are going through this waxing gibbous. So I take this time to reach out to people, to invite them into She's Magic, to give them a little bit of inspiration. I go into groups and, I might post something that's very inspirational and connect with them and see, if, they need that support system. And then, it's like you're wanting to come from integrity, and you want to be authentic. You don't want to be in the masculine energy like a car salesman. Okay. And so that's one of the things I do. And then what happened was I ended up attracting someone that, I think they were just pulling my leg about, the kind of business that they wanted. But I knew that I had to step back, and, it was, it was almost like I felt like I was being pranked or punked. Okay, and they could have been, uh, honest. It could be the business that they wanted, but it just felt it. I always go with my intuition, and it just felt like it was off. And so what I felt like was, this a little bit of discouraging energy that came in. Okay. And know that when you're going after something bigger, there is going to be some of those darker energies. And that's the trickster, that's the saboteur that comes in and tries to take you off of your track. And so, there was a minute I sunk into that energy, and then, um, I created this post and, for the group, and it was rejected. And so again, I was like, okay, letting this energy. And then I had someone close to me like make a comment, and it kind of threw me off. And then it was like I started going into the Four of Cups energy, which I will talk about those with the suits. But the Four of Cups energy is really, you start having a pity party, and you start looking at these three cups, and you're just like, wow, these cups aren't growing, what's going on? And then here you're being handed something from the universe, and you can't even see it because you're having a pity party. So when you're aware of these energies, you can pull back, regroup, do some cleansing. So that's what I did. Is I went into my sacred space, I lit some incense, I did some cleansing. I like to use essential oil of cinnamon, because cinnamon is sweet and hot and spicy, so it's a really good attraction essential oil. So I used a little bit of the cinnamon to, to really set me straight and reground me again, and know that I'm always attracting what it is that I'm manifesting. I'm growing this seed, I'm not giving up, I'm setting the attention, getting laser focus. Okay. And the full moon is coming in. And so when the full moon comes in, that's when we start to see some of our harvest come in. And it could be just another experience of more growth. You might have a little bit more growth. It might not be as big in your business as you want it, but you will see, if you took those actions and you aligned with the moon phases, that there is some growth there. So it gives, you're gaining momentum. Okay. When we want the whole moon, it's like, and we get a little sliver, we get a little discouraged. But if you can really, journal and plan and keep tabs, I don't want to say keep tabs, but keep a record of your journey, you can see that you've been moving along at a progressive state. Okay. Instead of going back and going, man, this isn't working. Like I wanted to have, you know I want it to have made $100,000 by now, and it's not happening. What's going on? Why isn't my manifestation working? Kind of energy. Okay, so this is where you can pull back, and I've got some growth here. I've taken the action, and so don't let yourself get discouraged during a full moon if your harvest didn't come in as big as you expected or as big as you want it, because that's the time where you're going to go and you're going to look back on your journal planner. I provided that, and I will leave a link where you can pick up a copy for January, but there is an offer that goes with it if you want to continue getting a copy for every month. But you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, I did this. I created this in my business. I created some amazing content. I attracted a couple more clients that are engaging in my content, because I want you to remember this. Because we're dealing with the internet, and we get, maybe you might get 5 likes, or you might get 100 people in a space. Maybe you're creating a private Facebook group, and you're looking at these groups that have like thousands of people in it, and then you're looking, you're like, oh, I only have a couple hundred people in my group. Okay, numbers look really small when you're comparing other numbers. Okay, but what I want you to remember is, if you were to book a physical space and you were to have people come in, if you filled that room up with 200 people, that would be freaking amazing, right? So we get so caught up on the numbers, and we think, oh, I only have 200 people in my group, and this person has 1,000 people in their group. I'm not doing, so don't compare yourself. You're on your own karmic journey. And I know that when you have a more intimate group, you really get to speak with your audience. Okay, so don't get caught up on the numbers. It's the same thing with views. If you're creating like me, I'm creating this video, and maybe I don't have a lot of views, but those few people that are watching this video, you're getting something from it. Okay, and because you're getting something from it, maybe you might share it. Maybe you might tell your friends, about me, and how you're learning tarot with me, and also you're learning some witchy wisdom that is keeping you on track in your business, or even filling you with the energy that maybe you are sick and tired of clocking in, and you're ready to go after what you want and create your own self-reliance. Okay, so that's what this is about. It's like staying the course, where you're going to have lessons, challenges, wins, whether they're big or small. But it's the progression. It's the progression of moving forward. Okay. So I'm going to stop there with the chariot energy. And we are in the waxing gibbous. So keep taking action towards what it is that you're trying to call in. Don't get discouraged. um, and I have just started doing Witchy Wisdom Wednesdays. So if you're wanting to get a little bit more of this kind of content, then at 2 o'clock Eastern time, I will be showing up, and on my business page on Facebook, where you can get a little bit of wisdom for your business, the witchy business. I'm not going to teach you strategies and all of this masculine hard sale energy. I'm really showing you how to claim back your inner magic and see that there is more potent energies around us that we aren't utilizing. Okay, so I want you to utilize them so that you can grow an amazing, strong foundation, this emperor strong foundation, because you don't want your business to fall like a house of cards because you were impatient and you wanted it now. You want true people that are following you, that really connect with your essence. Okay, you don't want to have a bunch of people in your group for having, just for sakes of number. And when people leave your group, don't get caught up in that either, because it just means that you're not connecting with them. You're not offering them what their perception, what they're wanting. And that's okay, because we're, as long as we stand in our truth, as long as you stand in your truth, who you attract is who you're going to want to work with anyway. Remember that, because you're building your I I don't, it's like you're building this magnet of attracting your ideal customers. Okay. So for me, if you think that tarot is, black magic, or you think that this is witchy and you don't believe in crystals, you don't believe in energies, you don't believe in the power of the magic of the moon, and that she is guiding us in our phase, her moon phases is letting us know how we should be showing up for our business. If you don't believe in that, then you're not my people, right? You'll think I'm just some kooky person, um, you know, that's on off her rocker. But if you really are intrigued and you've been wanting to add spirituality to your business, then I'm your person, because you're going to be attracted to me because you want to learn more. You want to have um, a business that lights you up, right? That's what we're doing this for. You're creating a life and a business that you love. You're not creating a life and a business that's more of like what you had before. So you might be in working in a business and you're like, well, this is how they do it. So this is the right way to do it, but yet you're not fulfilled, you're burnt out. Um, you're wondering why you're even doing this. Well, hello. That's because you're trying to do things the old way. And so I'm showing you a different way. So this is the second video for this mini series that I'm creating. Learn Tarot with me. Tarot. I'll say that always because you'll hear me go back and forth with the pronunciation. Yeah, so get your copy of the journal down below. Connect with me. If you have any questions, message me. And if you want to get inside of She's Magic, I welcome you in there so you can be with like-minded women, because we are collaborating together. There is no competition. We're building our own witchy business. Okay. We're planting our seeds, and we're creating self-reliance, and we are not apologizing for it. All right. So I will see you in the next video where I will go into the next major arcanas. And now you know major arcana means big secret. Have a beautiful day.